couple weeks ago we talked about that Spider-Man storyline. You know, the one that came after Civil War, One More Day? Sure, yeah. Well, that got me thinking. Who would you side with, Cap or Iron Man? Are we talking the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the Marvel 616 comic universe? It's the name of the show is Talking Books. We'll leave the speculation concerning the films to other people. Just stick with books. In that case, I'd have to side with Iron Man. Socialist. What? Nothing. Okay, continue on. I'd have to side with Iron Man. I mean, you look at the inciting event of the series. You have a team of undertrained, B-class heroes that caused the deaths of, 600 people? Some of those are children. Why wouldn't you want the government stepping in and regulating that kind of power? How can you see that? Put yourself in the 616 Marvel universe. I mean, if you knew someone who could just take out a stadium full of people just by opening their eyes, how would you react? You would want someone like that to be registered and tracked by the government. This isn't like talking about weapons. We're talking about people who are different and have powers. Yes, some are super powerful, but they're individuals. They are people. They deserve to be treated as such. You can't go around saying that you should force all of them to register. You cannot infringe upon personal rights like that. You know who that sounds like? Don't go reducto ad Hitler on me. We're talking about people with the power to level cities. You can't tell me that if your neighbor had that kind of power to exploit everything in a 200-foot radius, you wouldn't want to know about that information. You were talking like they would willingly hurt people. If my neighbor had that kind of power and he was a superhero in his off hours, I don't need to know that. That's his business. But you're looking at it through the lens of a reader of the comic books. If you actually lived in that universe, how many deaths, catastrophic events, and earth-shattering disasters would it take for you to want to track and register those people? The people with abilities. These are heroes we're talking about. They need to operate above the law to take down the super criminals. No one should operate above the law. I know we're talking about a fictional universe, but these are not higher beings. They are people, and if someone had the power of a nuclear bomb at their fingertips, I want the government to know and keep tabs on that person. That's not what our government, our country is about. How can you say that? Because it doesn't exist. We aren't talking about reality here. We are saying what would happen if it were real. As we see our culture now through that lens, through the lens of reality, we can't comprehend a situation like this. But if you look at the situation from the perspective of the characters in Marvel books, you'll see not only the practicality of it, but the necessity. Are you going to agree on this? I don't think so. You know, there's only one way to decide this argument, right? Right? Thumb war.